everyone, this is Kassie and these are the weekly tarot horoscopes for the week of January the 9th to January the 15th. We are almost mid-January already, and let's see what the future holds for this week. Our deck for today will be the Green Witch Tarot, a deck that's attuned with natural cycles, as you can see, and natural energies, also the earth and the elements. It's a deck you will enjoy if you are into that stuff. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my videos, to like, share and hit the notifications bell if you want to receive notifications for anything new that comes up. Don't forget that every day I post the card of the day, a card of general energies for each day, but if you want to have a more detailed and personal reading with me, you can always find me on my psychic platform www.kassiekai.com, where you will get 3 free minutes with your subscription and extra 3 minutes every month, or in some special occasions and cosmic events like some powerful full moons or eclipses. If you want to check last week's predictions, you can click on the link above, and let's see what the future has in store for us this week. For Aries, we had the Six of Cups, and this week it's the Two of Swords. You may feel that you are going back and forth this week, because after the Six of Cups that you had last week, you are going back to an energy that's more neutral. It's as the Two of Swords shows indecisiveness, hesitation, uncertainty, and perhaps what looked like a good option or a viable solution or idea last week, this week may not feel so promising. Also, support that you got last week may be taken back, since people around you will also be indecisive and the next steps will be rather slow. However, the energy of the Two of Swords can actually help you come to an agreement or a truce that may not be ideal or long-lasting, but will hold for a while and will give you the opportunity to make some more solid plans, or to have a clearer idea of where things are going and whether you still want to go ahead with something, or you prefer to postpone it or even to cancel it. The Two of Swords means that at this stage you can't have your way, and another person can't have their way either. So you come to a middle ground and you find some balance, but this balance is very fragile, and you will soon have to make another decision to take another step in some direction. The Two of Swords is the moon in Gemini, so expect that you and other people around you will be rather diplomatic this week with how they express their feelings, which means that you may not be able to easily see their real feelings, as they are rather protective of their heart. And if you're wondering how someone feels about you, they are a bit reserved, they are guarded because of past hurts, or because of insecurities, fears that they will get hurt again, so they are reluctant to progress, and they won't respond very well if you attempt to force them. And that said, they may be unable to see a situation or your relationship or your needs clearly, or they may be in denial about something or someone, and they are feeling conflicted and confused, and that will be reflected in the way they treat you. They will be giving mixed messages that are not clear. For that reason, it's advisable to wait for a couple of weeks, as this stalemated situation will end then. Events that took place between 23 September and the 2nd October seem to be of particular significance now, and the persons involved then will somehow play a role again at this stage. The Two of Swords puts emphasis on the beginning of the week between Monday and Tuesday, which seem to be the significant days of this week. For Taurus, we had the Six of Swords, and now it's the Ten of Cups. The Six of Swords last week showed that you were moving away from a situation that was stressful, either to cool down a little emotionally or even to explore other options, because some of you may have decided to leave something or someone behind in favor of new possibilities. Now the Ten of Cups you have this week indicates that the outcome you have in mind is now getting within your reach. because the Ten of Cups foretells a happy and successful completion. It may be something you want for a while now, and that's going to manifest this week. And other people may be involved in that because with tens, it's very common that other people have a say or play a role in what we want to do, in what we want to achieve. Also, tens always mean there's too much of something, depending on the suit. And in this case, we have too much of emotional energy. So now you're allowed to say how you feel, you are allowed to have conversations about your feelings, about a relationship. Just make sure that you don't get an overflow of emotions to the degree that's blocking you from being understood, but by someone who's more cool-headed, let's say, and they cannot deal or they cannot understand so much emotional energy. So if you're wondering how someone feels about you, there's no doubt that their feelings are very positive. They are very satisfied to spend time with you. They want to be with you. And they are looking for some sort of completion in a relationship with you. Maybe they want to take your relationship to the next stage, or you want to take the relationship to the next stage, because the Ten of Cups is often associated with marriage, with engagement, and in general with getting something more official. The Ten of Cups is Mars in Pisces, and the fiery Mars feels rather uncomfortable in the watery environment of Pisces because Mars is a planet of fire. And water and fire battle each other. And what that means is that Mars represents our actions, our desires, while Pisces is our feelings, our intuition. So there may be a difficulty to align your feelings with your actions. For instance, perhaps your intuition tells you one thing, but you end up doing something different from what your intuition is telling you. If you feel that this is causing an inner conflict or tension, it's best that you let life happen this week and have a rather indirect approach, a rather passive approach. If you find that someone close to you have desires and moods that are changeable, that's because they don't really know what they want at this stage, and it's best that you give them time to figure things out. This energy will last for approximately 10 days, and after 10 days you will notice that vibes are changing again. For Gemini, we had the Seven of Cups, and now it's the Five of Pentacles. The Seven of Cups is a card of options, so maybe last week you were exploring your options, confused if you didn't really know which direction to take, or if you haven't made a decision about something or someone. And this week you have the Five of Pentacles. Now, the Five of Pentacles often means that we may have to sacrifice something to get what we want. The Five of Pentacles is that we are giving something away in order to get something back, depending on the position you are in. However, what you give and what you get with this card is not always balanced. And it doesn't have to be money or something tangible, because pentacles often refer to money or tangible things. But I think it could be something you share, like emotions or responsibilities in a relationship. And this week you'll have to deal with an imbalance in some area. In order for balance to be restored, you may need to make a move that at the first glance may not appear fair or balanced, but the Five of Pentacles is often about going against the norm, thinking outside the box, and being in some way unconventional. And perhaps in that way you will get the reaction that you want to get. Just prepare that if another person is involved in this person may feel that they are getting the short end of the stick, so to speak, but that's a necessary process that has the purpose to balance things out and not to create further imbalance. So it's important that you focus on long-term results and not on what happens today or tomorrow. The Five of Pentacles is Mercury in Taurus, and that means your thoughts and your talks will revolve around practical matters this week, or matters that have to do with how you make your life more pleasant and more comfortable. If you're wondering how someone feels about you, they feel there's a difference between you or an imbalance. And that could be age difference, for instance, or social difference, or even race difference. And this person is focusing too much on that, instead of focusing on what could actually bring balance, what could actually bring you together. They are focused on that negative point of your connection, and they don't know how to resolve it or how to accept it. As long as they are in that frame of mind, it will be difficult for you to find common ground, so you need to give them time to reflect and decide what they want to do. Also, this week you may have to sort out a financial matter so that you can create better circumstances for yourself. Friday seems to be the strong day of this week, so it's around Thursday or Friday that you will feel the energy of the Five of Pentacles more strongly. For Cancer, we had the Death, and now it's the Tower. The Death is a card of disruption, so perhaps last week you decided to walk away from a situation, to end something, because the Death is also associated with endings. But this week, a sudden and unexpected shift will completely change the dynamics of a situation, and that sudden shift could be a realization that you are going to have, or another person will have a realization, and maybe you will understand that the foundations of a situation, of a relationship, were not as solid as you thought they would be, because there might be a situation that's falling apart already, and you will have to decide whether to rebuild what you started a while ago on a different basis, or to continue to build, going to the next stage and hoping for the best. And maybe you will feel upset or even angry that something has been taken from you, which means that on a certain level you must have taken someone or something for granted, or another person took you for granted. But life makes it so that things never remain static and there's always change. So this week you will have to learn how to navigate through waves of instability or uncertainty. But on the other hand, there must have been aspects of a situation that were not really working, and you knew that. And now those aspects are being exposed, and you will get the chance to reassess a situation after its reality has been exposed. You will be surprised to see that your feelings about something or someone change very rapidly and in a very drastic way. The Tower is associated with Mars, and that means very high energy. You will feel the need to take action no matter what, and your tongue will be very sharp. Mars always likes a good fight, so make sure to avoid arguments, as this week there's a high risk for that. This week you can expect the unexpected, and although the Tower gets a bad rap in Tarot, this is actually a good energy if you're looking for change, especially if it's a change that you feel unable to make, or if you are hoping for something to happen and change a situation, but you don't know what to do about it. If that's the case, this week the universe will hear your plea and will respond to your request. For instance, if you are single and you feel that you will never find love, the Tower foretells a surprise. This week you will be surprised by something that you didn't think would happen, and although as a Cancer you dislike big changes, especially when it comes to relationships and emotions, you'll have to go along with the wheel of life of the universe, because if you resist this change, you will feel very frustrated. Now, if you want to know how someone feels about you, there must have been a sudden realization that changed the way they feel, and that could go either way. For instance, if they were not interested in you, now there will be more open emotionally, or the opposite. In any case, expect a shift when it comes to emotional connections, and you will see that people act in ways that you don't expect, or even you will act in unexpected ways that will leave people surprised. This is not a good week to try and resolve conflicts. Allow energies to settle down first. Within 15 days or so, you will feel very different vibes and a very different energy. For Leo, we had the Hermit, and now it's the Nine of Wands. The Hermit is a rather introspective energy that puts you in a mood, in a rather solitary mood, because you need to find some answers or because you need to take some distance from situations and people that are causing you stress or tension. But I think that you won't be able to avoid tension this week because the Nine of Wands too shows that you must have come to certain realizations, and you may feel a little burdened by the weight of those realizations and maybe the clarity you got from acknowledging the issues that are causing trouble at this stage. But this week you will stand your ground, you will empower yourself, you will empower and you will defend your points, because that's what you need to do. Which means that there might be someone who's opposed to what you want to do, they are opposed to your plans, to your ideas, and you can't find common ground at this stage, and they may attack you in some way, verbally or emotionally. And there might be a lot of tension in the air. So if you want to know how someone feels about you, they are in a defensive mode. Maybe a lot has happened between you and you're both exhausted from tension, from arguments. And they are a bit guarded because they anticipate drama. They think that there will be trouble, there will be arguments. And they are trying not to get hurt or not to get themselves in trouble in some way. The Nine of Wands is the moon in Sagittarius, and the moon represents our feelings, while Sagittarius is the future. It's our visions, our dreams, the goals we want to achieve. So this week will be very important to feel good about where you're going, about your goals. You want to envision a future, another version of your life that's better than the current one, another version of yourself that will make you feel more grounded, more optimistic. That's why this week it's possible you will want to break free from restricting situations. You will want to pursue new experiences, expansion, and that's the right path actually. That's the right thing you need to do. Although there will be some tension this week, the Nine of Wands is a fire card anyway, and you will feel more optimistic, your thoughts will be future-oriented, so you may decide to cut cords with situations that do not serve you anymore. The nines represent the final stages, so within 9 to 10 days you will experience a shift in the situation that perhaps now is weighing very heavy on your shoulders. There will be a release of emotional energy and you will feel more clear. You will know that you made the right decisions and you took the right action. For Virgo, we had the Fool, and now it's the Ace of Wands. The Fool is a card of new beginnings, fresh energy, new energy. It represents life's infinite potential and possibilities. So maybe you were exploring new things last week, you were exploring your options or new doors that were opening for you. And the Ace of Wands is also a card of fresh energy. It's about what you want to do, what you want to accomplish. Other aces, like the Ace of Cups for instance, is about how you want to feel, what you do to reach emotional fulfillment, but the Ace of Wands is about what action you want to take, and through that action you will start manifesting your potential. The Ace of Wands is the first stages of a project or of a relationship, and you will probably find yourself trying different things, different methods to bring that project or relationship to fruition, to get it to a stage that you feel happy with it. Now, one thing you need to be aware of when it comes to aces is that aces show the potential and they are saying yes to what you want to achieve, but the message they give is that there are many stages between now and your end goal. And at times you may feel a little stuck at a particular stage, especially if you don't do what the energy of each ace is urging you to do. So now with this ace, let's say that you want a relationship to go ahead. What you need to do under this energy is to take action, not just to wish it or to dream about it. You need to put action behind your intention, because intention is the first stage, when an idea or a desire is being formed, but in order to bring it into reality, you can do it without taking action. Now, if you're wondering about how someone feels about you, the Ace of Wands indicates that there is attraction, there is chemistry, there is sexuality, and a desire to get to know each other better. Whether this is a new relationship or an old relationship, we never stop learning things about the other person. There are always aspects of their personality that we are not aware of. With this ace, there will be more interest, more attraction, more passion. Actions and developments are speeding up too. Although the Fool you got last week is also fast, but with this ace, you should expect fast messages, fast developments, communications, and something that will open a new door for you. With the Ace of Wands, the timing is now. So if you've been expecting news, a message, a visit, the wait is over, and this week you will finally get what you want. The Ace of Wands is good news if you're waiting for a professional matter to be resolved or if you're looking for a job. And under this energy, there's potential to start something new, something you will feel very passionate about. That's why this week, ready or not, don't hesitate, take action and do whatever you need to do. Beginning of the week will be the strongest, so expect between Monday and Wednesday to experience the energy of this ace the most. For Libra, we had the Five of Wands and now it's the Five of Cups. Fives disrupt the balance of fours, and you had another five last week, the Five of Wands, Five of Cups, which means that balance isn't there yet. So perhaps you are struggling with an issue for a while now, and you haven't really found stability or a solution to what's troubling you. And it's possible that you will be going through different emotional states, through different emotions, through different thoughts. And fives point to some sort of struggle or loss usually. But also they show a need to control a situation. So perhaps you fought for something last week, you tried to make something happen, but it didn't go as you planned probably, and now you are feeling a bit disappointed, or you feel you lost something or something is missing, and that could be a person whose absence is strongly felt, but you have not seen the end result yet. There are several stages to be experienced, so give it some time and let things unfold. Events that happened between 12 October and the 1st November may somehow be completed this week, or something that happened back then might be repeated now, and it will probably require a different approach or a different response. So think about what happened then, and if you didn't get what you wanted, you will probably now have another opportunity to do things differently or to respond differently. If you want to know how someone feels, they probably have regrets about the way they treated you or about the way things went between you, and they may feel a little guilty too. So don't be surprised if this week you will get a direct or indirect apology from someone when you least expect it. The Five of Cups is Mars in Scorpio, and although cups in general are passive and slow cards, the energy of this five will give you courage, determination, strength to go after your goals. But at the same time, expect that sexual energies will be very intense this week, because this is a very strong placement sexually. But it will also give you the chance to get in touch and understand your deeper desires and your deeper drives. So don't be surprised if you suddenly realize that someone you felt attracted to does not appear that attractive anymore, or a goal you wanted to achieve does not look as exciting as it did before. This will be a week of transformation and emotions will run deep. However, beware of emotional manipulation, because someone may try to control you emotionally, or you may be the one who will try to control another by using emotional booby traps, so to speak, and that can happen either consciously or unconsciously. So try to remain very present and very aware of your own actions this week, and you will get a much better understanding of what is going on and why another person is acting in a certain way. Friday seems to be the strong day of this week, so make a note for that day. For Scorpio, we had the Queen of Cups and now it's the Five of Swords. The Queen of Cups puts our attention and our energy on relationships, on feelings. Maybe you had a conversation about how you felt last week or about a relationship, but it's also a card of healing, a card of creativity. Maybe you were busy with a creative project, an artistic project, or you were focusing on your healing if you've been sick or if someone around you has been sick. But this week you got the Five of Swords, and the Five of Swords is a rather difficult energy because that's a card of contrasts. So it's possible there will be a disagreement with someone, and there may be an intense power struggle in one of your relationships. Under the energy of the Five of Swords, we are often blinded to what our purpose is, to what we really want to do, and we often fight for the sake of it, not for a good reason. And ultimately, it's about who wins, basically. At times, we don't even take into account the consequences of our contrasts, of our conflicts. So it's possible that someone will challenge you this week in a way you will feel you need to defend yourself or to put them in their place, as there will be a very strong urge to do that, especially if you have a history of fights with this person and you keep fighting over the same issues over and over, the same things, and energies may get too intense now. If you want to know how someone feels, their feelings are not very positive right now. If you had an argument with them, they are still under the effect of your fight and they cannot think straight. This is not a good week to have sensitive conversations, especially if you sense that people around you or the one you are interested in are ready to fight. On the other hand, if there's something you want to achieve, this 5 tells you to go for what you want in a way that's very assertive. So if you're going to negotiate something, do it in confidence and even in a forceful way if you need to. The Five of Swords is Venus in Aquarius, and that means you will have a detached approach when it comes to relationships. But that's good in a sense because you will be able to see things with the eyes of reason and not through rose-tinted glasses. That means you will also be able to see through lies and deception, and if someone tries to trick you in any way, you will probably respond in a manner that will be rather intimidating, and maybe that's what is needed anyway. Friday is the day you will experience this energy the most, so make a note for that day. For Sagittarius, we had the Ace of Pentacles, and now it's the Four of Swords. The Ace of Pentacles is a new beginning, an offer, an opportunity, and generally fresh energy that comes into your life. So last week, perhaps you made a fresh start, or you decided to try something new, or something was offered to you. And Pentacles in general have the goal and the purpose to create more stability and more security in our lives. So whatever manifested for you last week, it probably had to do with how to feel more secure and more stable. Now you got the Four of Swords, and with the Four of Swords you are going to take a break and to enjoy some time with people close to you, with your family, or with a supportive community. Developments will slow down this week and there will be a time out, and you or another person will take that time, some time to rest and regroup, and also to gain a better understanding of what is going on. And if there has been a pause in your relationship, like you needed some space, you may decide whether you want to resume things or not. That could involve also a pause in communication that will not be permanent though, because the energy of the Four of Swords is temporary and it represents a time of assessment basically. If you are wondering how someone feels, they are probably a bit burnt out emotionally and they need some downtime. That's why you may notice that someone is taking distance or they are not as active as they were before, especially compared to last week with the Ace of Pentacles, because the Ace of Pentacles is communication, it's messages. And that's to be expected if things got too intense emotionally. And now they need a break for reflection and recovery. The Four of Swords is Jupiter in Libra, and that will give you great charisma, especially when it comes to communications. So if you have a serious discussion or a serious negotiation to make, if you want to ask for a favor even, this is a good week to do so. Also, this is a very beneficial week for beauty treatments, for cosmetic changes, and that could be from plastic surgery to something very simple like visiting a spa or a beauty salon and have a beauty treatment, makeup, or to do your nails and things like that. Something that started between 13 and 22 October may come to a halt now, or a stage will be completed and you'll take a break to plan your next steps. You can expect that the energy of this card will culminate around Thursday. And this week you may also start planning a vacation or a retreat, and you may even start practicing meditation or another technique that quiets the mind. And that's a very good idea, as you will be able to get some very positive results. And thinking about last week's Ace of Pentacles that shows something new coming to your life, I believe that trying new things will be very beneficial for you at this stage. For Capricorn, we had the Page of Cups, and now it's the Sun. The Page of Cups you had last week represents messages, new beginnings, while the Sun is such a strong and positive energy. So expect that you will receive good news, a very positive message that can trigger a new beginning in a relationship or in your work. And this message or news could actually be very revealing because, like they say, nothing hidden under the sun. And when this card appears, expect that things that were confusing or made no sense will suddenly get very clear, and that will give you a much better understanding of a situation. The Page of Cups is an offer, so perhaps someone will offer you a job, or there will be a beginning of or a restart of a relationship. Expect there will be some ups and downs though, because if you think about it, the sun rises and sets every day, and although it feels good when the sun is up, there's no consistency because there's this cycle that keeps repeating. And since the Page of Cups is very young, which means immature, and he doesn't really know what he's doing or what he wants, and also the sun is associated with children, the message here is that for some of you there might be a situation that needs to mature a little in order for it to become more stable and more consistent. However, the vibes around you are very pleasant, and you should not spoil the moment by having too many expectations too soon. This is an energy that you can really enjoy, and it's about staying in the moment and be happy and do things that make you feel good, and you will get plenty of opportunities to do that this week. It's possible you will get news about a baby or a pregnancy, as this combination often indicates pregnancy, which could be unwanted too, so make sure that you are taking the necessary precautions if you don't want to be a daddy or a mommy. The cycle of the sun is 1 year, so it's possible that something that started a year ago will now be completed, or you may start something that will be finished around December or January next year. Under the energy of this card, you will find yourself being the center of attention, like the sun is the center of our solar system. So try to make a good use of this energy by taking advantage of the fact that people will be now more attentive to your needs, and they will respond more positively to your requests. The Sunday, also for some of you, January 19 will be a significant day, and this week the strong day is Sunday. For Aquarius, we had the Three of Swords, and now we have the King of Cups. The Three of Swords, admittedly, is not an easy energy. It's a rather disruptive card. It shows separation. It's the card of breakups, negative feelings. So last week you must have dealt with something that was stressful or something that caused you to feel rather bad. But this week with the King of Cups, the energy is changing because the King of Cups is a more gentle and a more calm energy, so you will feel calmer and emotionally more grounded. A male who's a water sun or ascendant, Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, will play a role to that. And Cups court cards are often helpers, so if you need emotional support, this week will be offered to you. Your focus and your attention will be on your personal relationships, probably on a romantic relationship, which must have been rather taxing the previous weeks, but now things will get better. If someone was causing you stress, you will notice that this week they are getting more cooperative and more communicative, and you will feel that the connection you share is a very special one. It's best that you let them lead, because kings like to do that, knowing that they will probably let events take their natural course, because the King of Cups is a passive card. Enjoy the connection without rushing to make things happen, because force and pressure will cause further resistance. Remember that this person loves to extreme and hates to extreme. If you want to know how someone feels about you, there are positive feelings. The King of Cups is a love card anyway. And there's attraction, romantic feelings. And there might be some sort of completion this week, because kings do show the final stages of something. Kings are the last cards of their suit. And it's possible that you are now going to find an outlet that will allow a relationship to work better, or your needs to be met in some way, so things are definitely looking up for you, Aquarius, this week. Someone in a position of authority will be willing to help with your plans, and as long as you have this person in your team, you will get the support that you need to move forward. This is a time to take leadership, but make sure that in doing so, you remain benevolent and compassionate. The energies of this week will culminate in 12 to 13 days, and Saturday seems to hold the strongest energy for this week. For Pisces, we had the Empress, and now it's the High Priestess. These two cards are like two sides of the same coin. And I'm saying that because the Empress represents the physical world, and she's very giving, very loving, while the High Priestess represents the mystical world, and she's more distant and mysterious. So, generally the High Priestess is a card of mystery and secrets. And this combination could point to a relationship that has a very strong spiritual connection too. The High Priestess often represents platonic relationships. So there might be someone you like, but this person is rather secretive, or they are avoiding physical contact, and they may be very hard to read. Since we have two major arcana cards here, we probably have a relationship that may have karmic undertones. So there might be things that you cannot explain, or you feel a very strong and strange attraction towards someone. And part of you, the part that's represented by the High Priestess, is telling you to guard your feelings, to protect your feelings and walk away even. But another part of you, the Empress, feels a very strong pull towards that person. So this week you will have to deal with some very intense feelings. However, you will probably not share your feelings, and in general, emotional exchange is rather blocked, or should I say, controlled. There's a need for all those involved in this situation to hide and control their feelings, at least until answers are found. And there might not be a physical connection this week. Maybe you're dealing with someone who's not physically present. Maybe they live in a different country or in a different city, or something happened between you and you don't see each other anymore. Or for some of you, the High Priestess represents a secret relationship, because the High Priestess always keeps secrets. This could also be a professional situation. For example, you're offered a position, but for one reason or another, you don't want to share that with others at this stage, and you will keep to yourself for a while until things unfold completely. Another thing you should be aware of is to not leave your phone or your laptop or your computer unattended this week, because someone may see something they are not supposed to see. So be extra careful, especially if you do have secrets that you don't want anyone to know. Your dreams and your intuition will be very strong this week, and you may even have a prophetic dream or a strong intuitive insight when you least expect it. The strong day of this week seems to be Monday because Monday is associated with the moon and the High Priestess is associated with the moon too. So these were the weekly tarot horoscopes for the week of January the 9th to January the 15th. I hope you enjoyed them. Have a fantastic week and I'll see you again next week.